Now students, let us understand a very important concept about the duty delta and the relationship between duty and delta, right? Now first of all, let us understand what is this term duty, right? Because questions are very frequently asked from this topic, the duty delta and the relationship between the duty and delta, right? Okay. So first of all, let us discuss what is duty. Duty is generally denoted by capital D. Generally, most of the books, right? Duty is denoted by capital D. So you can say that, for example, you have a unit discharge. Let us say the unit discharge is in Qmac, right? Meter cube per second. You have some discharge, unit discharge, right? So that discharge, how much area can be irrigated by that unit discharge is actually the duty, right? During the base period. What is base period? The time interval between the first watering, which is before the sowing, to the last watering before the harvesting. That is the base period. Okay. So I can say that duty, it is the area irrigated. Now, because in duty and delta, units are very important, right? So area irrigated in hectares, this is important. Generally we take area in hectares, right? So area irrigated in hectares by unit discharge, and discharge is generally taken irrigation engineering in Qmac, that is meter cube per second. Qmac is denoted as the duty of that particular area. Clear? Duty of that particular land, okay, or the duty of the irrigation water. Now, one more important thing is that sometimes in small examination like state level PSC examination and even in ESC examination, unit of duty has been asked. That what is the unit of duty? So, unit of duty is capital D. It is actually areas in hectares. So, hectares divided by Qmac. That is hectares per Qmac is the unit of duty, right? So I can say that duty is the area irrigated, right, in hectares by the discharge of water in Qmac. So this is actually the duty of a particular, you can say, irrigation water, duty of the irrigation water. Okay. Now this duty also depends upon a lot of factors. The factors might be some weather factors might be there, the temperature could be there, right? The type of crop. So it depends on a lot of factors. The type of irrigation also, it depends upon a lot of factors, right? The next important thing which comes here, the term is known as the delta. Right? Delta, it is generally denoted by del, right? And it is generally measured in meters. Delta, it is generally measured in meters, right? So what is delta, right? Area irrigated hectares by unit discharge. Now let me also write like in a base period. This is also important. The time is also important. For how much time? Up to the base period. Okay. Now delta is actually the depth of water, right? So delta is the depth of water which we are providing to a particular land, to a particular crop throughout the base period, right? So I will say that delta, it is generally measured in meters. Is the depth of irrigation water, provided in a base period, right? So that is your depth. For example, let us say in the month of, you can say in the month of March, the depth is 5 centimeter. In the month of April, the depth is 6 centimeter. In the month of May, the depth is 3 centimeter. So that delta will be equal to 6 plus 5 plus 3, that is 11 plus 3, that is 14 centimeter. Clear? That is how you calculate the delta of a particular field, right? The next important thing here is the relationship between duty and delta. So a lot of you must be knowing that duty is equals, this relation you must be knowing that duty, it is actually equal to 8.64 B divided by delta. A lot of you must be knowing this relation where B is in days, B is in days, B is the base period, right? Delta is in meters, and area is in hectares. Area is in hectares, and discharge is in cumac. A lot of you must be knowing, and a lot of you must have marked up this formula, that is D is equals to 8.64 B divided by delta, right? But the thing is that how this relation has been derived, that is important, right? So relationship is this, right? But how the relationship has been derived, that is important. Now let me rub this, right? Let me rub this. Now let us derive the relationship between duty and delta. Okay, this is important. Okay, now let us derive the relationship between duty and delta, and after that we will be seeing duty at different places, right? Because that is also very important. What is the duty at various sections of a particular canal? So how much the duty is? Okay, now let me rub this. Clear? Now relationship. Now next is relationship between duty and delta, right? Let us say that we have an area. Let us say that area we have it is hectares. Let us say that area is in hectares. The discharge is in cumac, that is meter cube per second. Why I am taking different units? Because in irrigation engineering generally the area is given in hectares, discharge is given in cumac, the depth, that is delta, it is generally in meters, right? And B is the base period in days. Base period in days. Base period in days. And we also know that 100 hectares is 1 kilometer square, and 10 raised to the power 4 meter square is 1 hectare. We also know this relationship. Clear? Now let us determine the discharge, right? Okay, now let us determine the discharge, and we know that discharge is actually equal to volume per unit time. Clear? Now for the derivation of duty, we assume that the discharge is 1 unit, because I told you duty is the area irrigated by a unit discharge. So let us say that discharge is 1 unit, right? So 1 unit means 1 cumac, right? So 1 meter cube per second, it is actually equal to volume. So what is the volume of water applied? Volume of water will be equal to the depth of water into area of that particular land, right? So I will say that depth of water is a delta. So delta, which is in meters, in bracket I am also adding the units, and multiplied by the area, which is in hectares. So area is in hectares. So area in hectares, area is in hectares, divided by time. For how much time? For the base period, which is in days, right? Divided by B, which is in days. Now let us now convert the units, because every unit has to be in meter cube per second the right hand side also, so that the units get cancelled out. Now it will be equal to, it implies that 1 meter cube per second will be equal to, this is in meters, no need to convert it, so delta will be meters, no need to convert, multiplied by area in hectares, and we know that 1 hectare is 10 raised to power 4 meter square. So 10 raised to power 4, now this is in meter square, divided by D is in days. I have to convert days into seconds. Why? Because on the left hand side we have meter cube per second, right? So B in days. So a day has 24 hours, a hour has 60 minutes, a minute has 60 seconds, right? Okay, so this is okay. Now it implies that if we want to calculate the duty, right? So this is the duty, right? Duty D is the actual, right? So area of hectares, that is actually equal to D hectares, right? Duty is the area, okay? So D hectares, let me write it here, D hectares, okay? So D hectares into D, right? D hectares, okay? So if you solve it, so D will come out to be 3600 into 24 divided by 10 raised to the power 4. So B comes to the numerator and delta comes to the denominator, right? So it implies that if you solve it, The duty comes out to be 8.64 into B by delta. So this is the relationship between duty and delta, where delta is in meters. I am writing here delta is in meters, B is in days, and the unit of D or this area is in actually hectares. Hectares per cumac. Hectares per cumac is the unit of D. Clear? So I hope that you have understood how to calculate the relationship between duty and delta. But if you somehow remember this formula, because this is very important, this formula has also been asked even in interviews also, that what is the relationship between duty and delta in terms of the respective units, right? So whenever you are telling someone this relationship, you must tell the units also, right? So units must also be told when you are telling the relationship between duty and delta. The next thing is that, now what is the duty at different places? Now let me rub this, because this question is very common, right? So you know that duty is directly proportional to the area irrigated and duty is inversely proportional to discharge. Simple, right? So for a particular area of land, if less amount of discharge is required to irrigate a larger area, I will say that the duty is high for that particular discharge, right? For that particular irrigation, right? For example, you know that duty is actually equal to area divided by discharge, simply, right? So duty is directly proportional to area and duty is inversely proportional to discharge. So if for a particular field, if I require very less discharge for a particular area, which is let us say constant, so duty will be high. If discharge is high, duty will be low, and if the discharge is low, duty will be high. Simple. For if the area is constant, so this concept will be used in this. Let us say that you have a river, right? Let us say that you have a river, because this question is very common, right? Let me use another marker. Yeah. Let us say that this is a river, right? This is a river. And from the river, now you have a main canal. Now this arrangement I will be explaining you when I will be teaching you about the design of canals. There I will be explaining you, right? Okay. So river, we have a main canal system, right? Now from the main canal, we have the branch canals, right? From the main canals, we have branch canals, right? And from the branch canals, we have major distributaries. Major distribution canals or distributaries, right? Major distribution canals. And from the major distribution canals, to further irrigate the land, we have the minor distribution canals, right? We have the minor distribution canals. And from the minor distribution canals, we have some water carrying, right? Some water carrying structures are there, right? Okay, so you can see that water carrying structures are there, right? And then that is how you supply to water to field. That is how you supply to water to field. This is known as water carrying or water course also. Water course, whatever, right? You supply water irrigation, water to field. Okay. Now let me denote this point as point number 1. This is point number 2, point number 3, point number 4, point number 5, point number 6, right? So in examinations, because this I have found in I guess a lot number of examinations, even I don't know in how many examinations I have found this, right? So even recently it was asked in GPSC, Gujarat Public Service Commission. Before that it was asked in JPSC, Jharkhand Public Service Commission exam. And before that it was asked in SSC exam. Before that ESC examination. Before that Uttarakhand AE examination, Uttarakhand PWD examination. A lot of examinations this question has been asked, that to which point the duty is high and to which point the duty is low. Now when I started studying irrigation engineering, when this question was asked to me in college, so I told that the duty will be high at 6, then 5, then 4, because there will be losses. But I forgot that what is the formula of duty, right? What is the formula of duty? The formula of duty is A by Q. That is, duty is inversely proportional to discharge. If the discharge is less, the duty will be high. Okay? Now, you know that, let me use another marker to make you understand. because this reason is hardly given in any books. In every book it is written what is the relationship, but not written the reason. So for example, this is river. Now from river, if discharge is coming to this point, so there will be losses. There will be, you can say, infiltration losses, there can be evaporation losses, there can be seepage losses also, which are also another transit losses. Then I'm not going to detail in that transit losses, right? So we will have losses. Now from point 5 to point 6, when the irrigation water will be traveling, still we will have losses. Now it means that as the water, let us say this is source, and this is your field. So as the water is traveling from source to field, what we have losses, right? It means that, let us say that we have discharge Q6 here, we have discharge Q5 here, we have discharge Q4 here, we have discharge Q3 at this point, we have discharge Q2, and we have discharge Q1. Now if due to losses, I can say that discharge at 6 is greater than discharge at 5, greater than discharge at 4, greater than discharge at 3, greater than discharge at 2, and we have the least discharge reaching the field due to losses, evaporation losses, infiltration losses, there can be seepage losses also. All these losses are known as transit losses. Transit means during the traveling, right? The losses during the traveling are known as the transit losses, right? Okay, so if discharge is less, the duty will be more. It means that if the area is constant, let us say that the area is 100 hectares, the area is constant. So if the 100 hectare area is there, it will require a lot of discharge, because a lot of discharge will be coming. And if area 100 hectares is here, so for the smaller discharge, that particular area can be irrigated. Clear? So I will say that the duty, capital D means duty, the duty at 1 will be greater than duty at 2, greater than duty at 3, greater than duty at 4, greater than duty at 5, greater than duty at 6. And students, this is very, very, very important, because this has been asked a lot number of times in many examinations, and I have seen students making very silly mistake here. What they do is that duty 6 greater than duty 5 and so on so on. That is not correct. The correct is duty 1 greater than duty 2, duty 3, duty 4, duty 5, and 6. Okay? So I hope that you have understood the concept of duty, delta, and the relationship between duty and delta, and the duty at various places in a canal system, in an irrigation canal system. Okay, I will be discussing what is this main canal, branch canal in further chapters when we will be discussing about the design of irrigation channels. Okay, then we will be discussing it in detail. Okay, but I hope that you have understood all these things, right? The reason also, that what is the reason? These losses are known as transit losses, right? But don't have to go in detail what transit losses are. So evaporation losses, the infiltration losses, the seepage losses, all types of losses during the traveling of a particular irrigation water in a canal is known as the transit losses. Clear? Okay. So I hope that you have understood this. Now let's move forward to another lecture. In the next topic, I'll be explaining you there are some factors which influence or which enhance or which affect the duty at a particular land, right? So the factors affecting duty I will be teaching you in the next lecture. Thank you.